I'm queer, I'm trans, I'm young in Birmingham, Alabama. For a long time, I didn't think there was anywhere for me to go, but as soon as I discovered DIY, I knew that this could be like my safe space. It's a great way for young people in Birmingham who don't really have a place to go to feel they're safe and like they're welcomed and they're loved.
Sure, this moshing, people are getting kicked in the face, but you're not getting kicked in the face because you're trans. This is a place where people like me can come and be ourselves absolutely.
The scene is more than just a scene, it's a family. You go and you see everyone and it's like you're hugging not just your friends, but like that's your fucking family.
You can walk up to any circle of people and you're not going to be met.
I love you, Will.
I love you too, Will. But you're not going to be met with anger and rejection.
We've always been the underdog city. And when you're an underdog, it means people aren't holding you to the same expectations. So instead of playing by a pre-existing rubric, you sort of get to build your own rubric.
It's a smaller city, so everything's really tightly knit. Everybody kind of puts on for each other. Everybody like wants each other to succeed.
People who think of Alabama, they never really thought it could be a place that someone like me could come from. It's interesting to see in real time that Alabama is a place that is always underestimated.
Kind of like the biggest kept secret.
Yeah, we have the element of surprise.
Whether it be the skate scene, the music scene,
No matter what it is.
it all meshes together.
Everyone thinks we're stupid.
Yeah, exactly. We're in Alabama, but
Maybe
like,
we are,
damn,
but God damn it.
we really know how to like tear it up.
A big thing with the Birmingham scene to note is that the hardcore scene has been around as long as I've been around. There's something unique about the post-COVID landscape. There's a new sort of response to the cynicism. Before COVID, everybody was like hipster in the negative sense, you know? And now it's like the only response to cynicism that's appropriate is to be earnest. And I think that's why hardcore is growing at the rate it is. And I think that's why Birmingham is becoming maybe a sleeper city.
Fire is kind of like one of the longest running DIY spots in the country at this point. So many bands are always talking about like, you guys so privileged to have this, and you know, this is such a big thing, and like not to take it for granted. So, which you know, obviously try not to.
Y'all truly have something special here, and I hope y'all realize that. I hope y'all understand that, because a lot of cities like this don't get that shit.
We like lost a bunch of people over COVID, like, you know, huge people that like everybody, you know, mean a lot to everybody, just like huge hits. Losing a lot of people, just like everything coming to a close. There's just this new appreciation of everyone in the community where now, you know, it can just go away.
Well, it was like a year and a half, almost 2 years where nobody could go to a concert at all, so everybody's just boiling up. And I remember the first show that everybody got to go to in this neighborhood it wasn't at this house, it was a house up the street with Joy Boy playing. And there's so many people in that fucking room that the floor caved in.
180 people came into a 2-bedroom house.
We had a fucking show at a public library. I walk in, there's 300 fucking kids there. Most of them I've never seen before in my life.
The library show was a blast. If the library was trying to bring more people into the library, they also did the same thing for us.
Dude, like post-COVID, I have no idea what to tell you. If you showed up to the Firehouse and you were gonna play a show on like any given night, you got like 40 or 50 people there and that was like the good crowd. But now that's like the minimum.
At first, I thought it was just a post-COVID thing and would eventually die out, but we're in 2023 now, and if people have not stopped coming to shows.
Lockdown happened for so long, all the older heads that were my age, they moved on. They grew up, they started families, and they didn't come back. And then all these kids over TikTok discovered hardcore. Now, like, every show is 150 kids. When I was 17, 40 kids if you're lucky. But now it's every show is 150 kids. Every kid is moshing. Everyone's having fun. It's wild.
Guys like Apprehend come along, and they bring all these kids in, and all those kids get so excited, and they want to start their own thing, and that's how this continues.
This right now is wild. That on a Thursday night, 150 people will come out and watch a show. There are people that I think have seen us play every time we play.
I got into stuff through like Christian music and like, I mean like straight up, like it's a lot easier to get your parents to drop you off at like a church than it is somebody's like house or a basement or something, you know?
For a time, pastors, we're trying to like put in youth messages and like, raise your hands, everyone, just feel the energy. He's in this room with us tonight. And it's like, I just came here for breakdowns.
There was a church venue 10 minutes from my house. I had a show every other Friday, no matter what.
Shows being at churches was the reason that my parents let me go to shows when I was a kid. I was like, no, Mom, they're a Christian band. Like,
let's just look at like 10 years ago. Okay, the scene was completely different. I'm 16 years old in the bar, and I get knocked out by a 30-year-old man, and I'm expected to just get up and deal with it. You don't really see a lot of that anymore. You don't really see, like, the crowd killing or, like, you know, the straight edge guys coming to the shows and, like, beating people up for smoking weed or whatever.
In, like, the late kind of 2000s and early 2010s, it was pure violence. Like, dudes were coming in there to crowd kill and to fight.
There's a little less testosterone, which is good.
In the metalcore scene, whenever I was growing up, like everyone listened to the same stuff, you know? It was like never anything really different. Now, like, we'll be sitting there and somebody will bring up a band that I've never heard, or they'll be like, oh yeah, I listened to this jazz artist the other day, and I'm like, what the fuck is this?
I remember as a kid, the absolute just separation of metalheads and hardcore kids. Everyone had a label. If you were one, you weren't the other. Now, a band like Seraphic Attunement, a local death doom band, can play with Apprehend, a local hardcore punk band, and everybody is fucking having fun. The death metal heads are having fun with the hardcore kids.
When I was growing up, if you liked a certain type of music, you were ostracized. The metalcore kids didn't hang out with the deathcore kids. Or like the death metal people hated all of us. Or like the true, like old metalheads despised if you like played breakdowns.
Our good friend Kala, who like passed away over COVID, she like started a lot of this. She's a reason that like so many people come out. She's a big reason that so many people do feel like safe in this spot and like safe in their skin, and all the punk bands and the hardcore bands and the metal bands and everybody play together and everything's mixed bill because she like kind of friends with everybody and kind of unified.
At first, like, I had only been to metal shows and it was only, or like pop punk shows, and it was like only the men. Like I would like crowd surf, but like I never like would do anything in the pit because I was scared, because these men would just like target people, and especially if it was like, they were like, no women or no non-binary people who present as femme in the pit, you know, and it was so lame. With the Firehouse, like whenever I started coming, I watched like everybody like hardcore dance and get in the pit and have fun, and it was like anybody can come, anybody can like participate.
Everybody that gets in the pit is pissed off at someone or something or some institution, but at nobody there. And so it's a shared expression of just mutual either disgust with the world, distrust with the world, whether it be relationships, politics, and just when they're in that pit, just expressing yourself. And people would always see it as violent and it's mad, but when someone falls down, there's so many people to pick them up.
A lot of people I know in the scene, including people like myself, are very reserved people. And it becomes this like kind of twisting of the guts. It's like when you get in an argument with somebody, you don't want to scream at them, so you go punch a pillow. There's that sort of feeling. A lot of people will describe that with metal music in general, when they're like, no, they're not angry, they're letting out the anger, and that's kind of what it is. It's just like a big exuberant dance.
I remember my first hardcore show, and I wasn't really into hardcore music. My friend was just taking me, and I'm like sitting on top of this bar, and I'm watching people mosh and two-step, and I was thinking, this is the dumbest shit I've ever seen. And then my friend had like told somebody outside to come and punch me in the face. And so he's going around the bar just crowd killing, gets to me, punches me in the side of the head, and he keeps doing it. And I see him like just hugging people after it, and I was like, I think I get it now.
It seems so silly sitting here and talking about moshing, because it is stupid. Like I feel like you have multiple different types of people that go to shows. Okay, you have the people in the front, and I genuinely think that most of the time the people in the front are the ones that genuinely care about the music and care about the band and they care about what they're seeing. You have the people in the middle in the mosh pit. We're all stupid. We're just dumb. Okay, we hear a riff that sounds like you could fight somebody to, and we all just start like kicking and swinging our arms around and doing stupid shit. It's dumb.
You feel warm inside, you feel the adrenaline rushing through you. When you do a little two-step or punch someone, it's like you can let everything out and be able to show rage.
It makes me feel alive. For those moments where I'm getting to feel all my anger and all my happiness and all my serotonin just fucking burning up in my brain while I'm like moshing and screaming along to bands, like nothing else in the world exists. I don't have to feel my depression or my anxiety or think about my job.
Nothing against therapy, but this is my therapy. I work with death and dying, and I have a lot to just let go. And I had told my wife asked me, but what do why do you still go? It's like, it's the only place where I can lose myself and find myself in the same night.
I love this place, and you should experience it for yourself. There's only so much talking a bunch of fucking idiots can do to convince you to do something. Like, you should just come out here and do it, and yeah, you'll love it.
Pick up an instrument, start a band, find your new best friends, make new friends in every city you can, play your art to everyone. That's how I found my happiness.
Whatever emotion you feel, try to channel that into a chord or try to, beat the hell out of the drums with it or write some poetry about it and start a band.
It has never been this easy to start something. Like, Cyrus and I hung out a couple times, like maybe like 5 times maximum. And then out of nowhere, just messaged me like, hey, want to do a band? It was fucking sick. It was that easy.
Watch a million videos of bands that you think are cool and just copy them and copy all of them in a little bit from each one and figure out what you like.
This is going to be like a zoom in moment. If you're between the ages of like 15 and 18 years old and you don't have an instrument, go buy one. I don't care what it is. Go home, put on the album Master Killer by Marauder and only listen to that for like the next 3 years of your life and then get back to me.
Yeah, I will be excited to see that band when that happens. If you listen to Master Killer for 3 years of your life, I'm worried about how you might turn out, but you'll probably be fine.
Why is everyone named Will in the scene?
Because it's the sexiest name of all names. You may go up north and they're talking about they're Williams, but you come down here in the south, everyone's Will. You see Will over there. He's kind of cute. There's a Will over there. There's another Will somewhere. I'm pretty sure that there's a Will right there. Hey, Will. There he is. We're talking about all the Wills in the scene and how
everyone's named Will.
All right, while he's gone, Will Russell has us all at gunpoint. He keeps all the money. Nobody ever gets to eat any food. He starves us. He hits us.
If you come to watch our band play, if you come to watch Forced Neglect play, you should hurt each other if you want to, if that's what you're into.